Hi friends, it's Miss Paglarani and I'm back with another math review video for you. Today we're going to work on fractions that are greater than one whole. So we'll start off by watching a Khan Academy video together. I'll go over 2 practice examples and then it'll be time for your exit ticket. Let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to put myself in the corner here.
This circle represents one whole. This circle right here represents one whole. If we know that, we can answer what fraction of the circle is shaded in blue below. So down here, what fraction is in blue? Let's start back up here with the whole. This whole is divided into 1, 2, 3 equal-sized pieces. So it's divided into thirds, 3 equal-sized pieces. And each of those pieces, each of those pie pieces is 1/3.
That's our unit fraction. Remember that from yesterday?
Is 1 of the thirds. So knowing that, let's go down here to these ones and let's see how many of these 1/3 pieces. Here's 1/3, another 1/3, another 1/3 shaded in blue, another one, and another one. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 thirds. We have 5 thirds shaded in blue below.
So when we look at this example, we see that we have 1, 2, 3 thirds, which is one whole, and then we have 1, 2 thirds. So if we put 3 thirds with 2 thirds, 3 plus 2 is 5 thirds. Anytime you see that the numerator is greater than the denominator in a fraction, you know that the fraction is greater than one whole. Remember, this problem is not showing sixths. The 3 in the denominator represents the number of pieces that each whole is divided into. So this whole is divided into thirds, and this whole is divided into thirds. And the 5, the numerator, represents the number of pieces that are shaded in blue. All right, now we're going to move to our first example. It says, identify the fraction represented in the picture below. Okay, so my first step, I've written out some steps that I can take here to help me solve this problem. My first step is to find my unit fraction. So I have to ask myself in my brain, how many pieces are in one whole? Not both wholes, one whole. Let's count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, so I know that my unit fraction is, think in your brain. If you guessed eighths, you're right. Our unit fraction is eighths. I'm going to open my drawing tool now so that we can label it together because mathematicians always make sure to label. I'm going to add our picture in here. All right, I'll make it a little bit bigger so that you can see, and we're going to label it together. 1/8. I'm going to copy that box because we have to make sure we label each piece of the fraction. Whoops. There we go. Okay, should I stop there? No, right, because I need to make sure that I label these parts as eighths as well. So I'm going to drag this over. And make sure I label each of these sections as an eighth. These are actually eighths as well too, but I'm going to label just the ones that are shaded so that I don't accidentally count these ones. All right, let's check out my next step here. Count the shaded pieces using my unit fraction. So let's count my shaded pieces. 1/8, 2/8, 3/8, 4/8, 5/8, 6/8, 7/8, 8/8. Whoop, can't stop there. That's one whole, but I have to remember to count these too. So 8/8 plus one more eighth is 9/8, 10/8, 11/8, 12/8, and 13/8. All right, last step is to write my answer. So I'll write it in a complete sentence here. Whoops. My answer is 13/8. All right. Time to check out a different kind of problem. Oops, I almost forgot to double check. Did I answer the question? Identify the fraction represented in the picture below. Did I identify the fraction represented in the picture below? Well, I see pieces that are divided in, or wholes that are divided into 8 equal pieces, and I see that there are 13 of those equal pieces shaded in. So yes, I did answer the question. And I made sure to count the pieces in each whole, right? So there are 8 equal pieces in each whole, right? That's why the denominator would not be 16. We have to remember that we're working with our unit fraction. Let's look at example number 2. It says represent 9/4 with a picture. So I'm going to go back to my drawing feature here so that we can create this picture. Oops, before I do, I need to make sure I read my steps. Make sure each whole is the same size. If not, we cannot call them fourths. Okay, so I need to make sure that each whole is the same size when I draw it out. I'm going to use rectangles this time because I like rectangles. I'm actually going to copy it and paste it so I know that it's exactly the same size. There we go. Good. Now, I need to use the denominator, which is, yep, you got it, 4. If I use the denominator 4, that will help me to identify the unit fraction, which in this case is fourths. So I need to divide each whole into fourths. I'm going to go back to my drawing here. And I'm going to start by splitting it into halves. That way I can make sure my pieces are equal. That looks about straight to me. Now, whoops, I can divide this into fourths. That looks about right. I'll do the same thing for my other wholes. Remember that our unit fraction tells us how many equal pieces we divide each whole into. Can anyone figure out why I knew that there had to be 3 wholes? Take a second. If you need to pause the video to think about it, that's okay. All right, I knew that there had to be 3 wholes because I saw in my numerator, this should say numerator, I saw that there were 9 shaded pieces. So if I look at my drawing, I knew that 1, 2, 3, 4/4 was not going to be enough. 5, 6, 7, 8/4 was still not going to be enough. So I needed to go to a third whole to make sure that I had enough room to show that last fourth, 9/4. Okay, so I'm going to complete my drawing here by shading in each of those 9 pieces. Let's make this a different color. Perfect. 1/4, 2/4, 3/4, 4/4, 5/4, 6/4, 7/4, 8/4, last one, 9/4. And if I wanted to be an extra smart mathematician, I could even label each of these with my unit fraction. Whoops, 1/4. Perfect. Now, I'm not going to get tricked like I did last time. My last step is I have to double check. Represent 9/4 with a picture. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 pieces. And each whole is divided into fourths. So that makes 9/4. Perfect. All right, friends, we watched our video together, we've done our practice examples, and now it's time for your exit ticket. I'm going to give you a little preview right here. So a reminder, just like yesterday, you're going to click on the link for your exit ticket that belongs to your class. Again, it really helps your teachers to know how you're doing with that specific skill if you fill out the one for your class, and then they can help me to know what to make in review videos next. So you have the same number of questions as yesterday. Make sure you read those questions carefully, especially the ones that say which 2 choices. Those ones are always tricky. When you're done, you'll click submit, and then it will give you the option to click a button that says view accuracy, and then you'll be able to see your answers, whether you got it correct or incorrect, and it'll show you the correct answer. If you have any questions, please reach out to me or Ms. Viteri or Ms. Hill. Any of us are available to help, and I will see you again soon, friends.